Dear all, good afternoon, and happy to share my thoughts today. And I got a poem in grade 8 uh, in English subjects, and there is a poem which is very heart touching and which is very much favorable behavioral, which is most useful in our lives. So this is very heart touching poem for me. So I couldn't stay cool and calm. So I was very eager to share it to my uh, dear all. So that one poem is Changing World, and it is written by Edward De Bono, famous poet in English literature. So the poem is like this. The topic is changing world, uh, and the poem is like this. When I was a young man, I wanted to change the world. When I was a young man, I wanted to change the world. I found it was difficult to change the world. So I tried to change my nation. When I found that I couldn't change the nation, when I found that I couldn't change the nation, I began to focus on my town. I couldn't change the town. And as an older man, I tried to change my family. Now, as an old man, I realized that only thing I can change is myself. And suddenly I realized that if long ago I had changed myself, I could have made an impact on my family, and I could have made an impact on our town. Their impact could have changed the nation, and I could indeed have changed the world. Like this, the poem is very heart touching. So everyone, as a human, everyone want to reach the progress. Everyone want to keep their name, fame, everything in the world. Like this, the poet has uh, uh, tried to mention in this poem. In my thought, is like that. While the poet was, according to poet, while he was a young man, he wanted to change the world. He wanted to make the world like as a paradise, like as a heaven. He wanted to see happiness everywhere, everywhere pleasure. There is no pain, there is no sorrowness, no hard things. Everywhere there is happiness, full of happy people, civilized society, developed society. Like this, the world, all people can stay happy in the world. But he tried many times, more times, according to his dreams, but he couldn't, because there is different individual differences. There is personally, people are different one to another. Everyone's thought is different one to another. So like this, he couldn't change the world, because it was impossible in reality. It's very impossible in reality, because different desires, different people, different communities. So it is very impossible to change the world by the persons. Only in philosophy we can realize that, in a historical story like that, but in reality not so. So he couldn't change the world. So he thought that I couldn't change the world, because different people have their different thoughts, different desires. Everyone has their own specialities. Everyone has their own dreams. So no one is connected to another. No one is connected to another one. No one is ready to listen to anyone, because everyone is busy to dreams their to fulfill their personal dreams. So in first stanza said that when I was a young man, I wanted to change the world. I found it was difficult to change the world, so I tried to change my nation. So at last what happened? I couldn't change the world, because it is very impossible. Now I couldn't change the world. What happened? Now let's see. I will change my nation. After all, while he realized that uh, He couldn't change the world. He was concerned, or he was focused to change the nation. And after that, to change the nation also became impossible to him, because in nation also not a small part. Nation mean it is related to uh, variousness, different culture, different ethnics, more peoples, more society, more civilizations, many more things, monuments, things, attachments there. So nations also has become impossible to change by himself. So in second stanza he couldn't try to change the nations, and he was, after that what happened in second stanza, he was focusing to town. At first he was trying to change the world, he became unsuccess. After that he tried to change the nation. To change the nation was also impossible, and his dream was broken. After that what happened, he tried to change the town. Okay, let's see, town is very small. It is old nation, and town is very small than nation. So I will change the town. Definitely I couldn't change the nation, world, no problem. Nation also I couldn't change that, but town, it's my locality, it's my surroundings, I will try. And that one also uh, not possible. That one also became not possible, and he couldn't change the towns also. And after that what happened, I couldn't change the world, I couldn't change the nation, I couldn't change the towns also. Basically I can change my family. Now I will change my family. So from today I will try to change my family. And while he was trying to change the family, he lost his young age. He was already started become older. He was getting older, so he couldn't change the family, because in family no one was listening to him. Kids were telling that you are our old generation, we are a new generation, so please leave us on our way. Kids were telling like that, and other family members were, we are doing ourselves, so don't try to disturb us, don't, you just stay cool, you just stay happy by yourself. Don't try to disturb us, don't try to mm, shout more to us. We have our one knowledge, we have our one desire, we have our one path, we have our one system. So please, every time telling about the philosophy is not good, so don't try to convince us. So please be yourself happy and stay in your one world, stay in your one ideas. Please don't try to guide us, we are right, we are perfectly going on. That was the feedback from his family members. I mean, his family members was also not listening him, so he got frustrated. And now as a old man he thought that now I couldn't change the world, I couldn't change the nation, I couldn't change the town. And I tried to change my family, because my family was mine, and I did lots of contribution to my family. But that one also impossible, because no one is ready to listen to me. So that's why there is no way to change anything, because no thing is ready to change by my side. So there is only the way I can change, only by myself. I can change my attitude, I can change my dreams, I can change myself only. And suddenly I realized that if long ago I had changed my family, if I had changed myself, uh, I could have made an impact on my family. I mean, after that, he was already old, So by changing himself, what could he do? He couldn't do anything. Now, if he changed in the world is his energy, his mental uh, capacity, his thoughts, his philosophy, his most important time, healthy time, he already passed. So he couldn't do anything. But now he can only think because he couldn't do any hard work. He couldn't convince to anyone because he was unable to convince his family members also, because everyone was blaming him. You did that things, you did these things, now you uh, cannot do anything, now you are doing that, so don't disturb us, don't disturb to our duty, don't try to schedule our time, because we are in our own world, in our own daily schedule, like that mean. Finally he was trying to change himself, but that was also late because he was an old man. So like this, finally he was trying to change himself, but late. His youngness, his effective time, his energetic time was already gone. So finally he was regret, and he was realizing that while he was thinking about to change the world, while he was thinking about to change the world at that time, if he was trying to change himself, he could become smart, perfect, and a kind of attractive and energetic personality. By looking his idleness, by looking his energy, motions, speeds, risk bearing capacity, other people can imitate him, other people can follow him, and at least his family members could be interested with him, and he could do something. But at first he tried to change the world, so he lost sometimes some energy, some most important is span of his life, and that was unsuccess. So after that he tried to change the nations. during this During that process he lost his valuable time, age, and period, and that one also not effective. And after that he came to town, like this, by world to nation to town to family, he became world, but nobody was ready to listen him. And he had great idea, he had thought, he had some dreams, but he couldn't do. That's why this poem is very heart touching, because during our life we give our time, we focus our energy towards others at first, and finally what happened, we cannot get fruitful achievements by those things, and finally we will be suffer if we waste our struggling time to others. Then we may be unsuccess, and while we have unsuccess and bad time, our self, we cannot control ourselves also. So who will give, or who will take care to us? So according to this poem, this is very heart touching for me. Why? Because we give lots of time to others, and we stroll, we focus about changing others, but we are not changing ourselves, and we will be like the shadow under the lamp, shadow under the light. And finally what will happen, we can only regret, we can only feel sorrow. So we have time, while we have time, energy, while we have our most valuable things like health, time, energy, our ideas, our strategy, that must be applied to ourself, to myself, ourself, not myself, individually. And while I'll be strong or you will be strong, then you can directly affect to others, and you can give good impression to others, because everybody follow the success. While you are strong, while you are success, while you get achievement, everyone is roaming surrounds you, everyone is clapping you. But while after some times, while you have struggling time, you have some small struggling times, or you get failure one times, after that everybody try to pointed fingers on you, everybody started to do backbiting to you, and everyone is blaming you. He did like that, he's not a good man, he's not a good persons like that. So first of all, we must be perfect, we must be perfect to us, to by ourselves, we must be perfect, because success grow success, and success leads always towards the darkness. So first of all, to be success by self is very important in life. I also think same, because it's the realization of life, because we have done lots of things in the society, we have done cooperate with many more peoples, but in the reflection what we are getting, we are getting more blamings than gratitude, because nobody is ready to support others here. Everyone have some selfishness, everyone is running for success, running for profit, running for gain. No one try to push upwards, because I also don't want to push anyone upwards than my head, upper my heads. So I also try to go ahead than others. It's human nature. So this changing world poem attracted me very much. So I like it very much, and I see it. So first of all, we have to change ourselves, our style, our habits, our motto, our objectives, and our ways of work. So we must be smart, perfect, and versatile in our life. We must have versatile capacity in our life. So most important time, valuable time, most valuable energy must be given to ourselves, especially myself. Then while I will be perfect, mature, and success, then I can uh, share to others. I think this poem tells, gives the knowledge like this. So we are very thankful to Edward De Bono, who has written this poem or composed this poem. It is very fruitful to us, and I like it very much and share. I hope you will reply, you will give feedback. How is the poem, and how was my description of the poem? I try my best. Thank you very much. Bye bye.